The show where nobody comes prepared, where Nick often stops and stares. They call it the Ramblecast. 100 YouTube subscribers, thanks to Jack. He's got our back. A never-ending stream that will make you scream eternally. Ramblecast, the Ramblecast. Now we are here on the Ramblecast. Now that I'm here, now that you're here on the Ramblecast.
Cha-cha-cha.
Next week, can you do Let's Get Physical?
Let's get physical. That's for Olivia.
Good evening, gentlemen.
So how's everyone's week been going? That was a great song, Nick. I think I've heard it before, but it was a great song.
You heard like the first sentence last week, yeah.
Yes.
I entered it.
My week's been pretty good. I got to go to another concert this past weekend, and I'm going to go to another concert this upcoming weekend.
Nice.
My
Nice.
next concert's going to be across the country, over in Nick's neck of the woods in Colorado.
Nick's neck of the woods.
Yeah, I've got Roger Waters on September 6th in Denver.
And should we go on? Matt has made it 4 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you looking younger, Matt?
I think he got a haircut too today.
Yeah.
No, I had it last week.
Oh,
Yeah, I noticed you had a haircut last week. You're starting to look younger. Is it just the no stress in your life?
Less stress.
Yeah, the vampire has to feed.
Because stress is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Stress
Yeah.
sucks.
I hate stress.
It really does.
So,
Okay, what's worse, humidity or stress?
ooh,
Stress.
shit.
Because we were talking about humidity before we went on air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Thing
actually
is,
have a
humidity causes
dehumidifier
stress.
in this room, but I can't turn it on because it's loud as fuck. That's causing me stress.
Aren't you usually on mute?
Yeah, but the humidifier is constant, or dehumidifier rather is constant, and it's
Okay.
loud.
Got it. And if you're just tuning in, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're up to 102 subscribers.
Hey,
102.
It's like a stampede since Fan Favorite took over for.
We got one.
Come on, we were at like 97 when I was, I want to see the numbers.
It's at 102.
They're all fake accounts.
Well,
Jack just keeps opening one every week just to be like,
it's sports talk with Jack and Jack.
so you're saying I'm 3 stupid guys all rolled into one?
Crazy Hank with 3 Z's, Crazy Hank with 3 K's. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, if you do that, they will find your account and delete the subscribe.
Oh.
Well, if you're Crazy Hank with 3 Ks, you should be deleted anyways.
Yeah, probably.
Crazy with the K as well.
But that was no, I got it. That was what Matt. I was listening, but I didn't realize he said 3 Ks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anywho. Yeah, so I got to see a band I have been, following since I was in college. So the better part of 20-something years in the making of going back to see this band play live, which I was really excited for. And that was Dispatch. I don't know if you may or may not know who that band is.
The taxi service?
They were a band that really benefited from
Dan DeVito's the lead singer.
Yeah, they really benefit from the days of Napster and in music sharing. They were one of the largest bands to never sign a record deal, and that was kind of like their whole shtick. But I followed them for quite a long time, and they are on tour right now with OAR. So I got to see Dispatch and OAR
Or
this
what?
past weekend. It was a lot of fun.
What's OAR? What's OAR?
Or what?
OAR is a band, and it actually stands for of a Revolution. It's a
That's
national.
I knew it was a band. I just I didn't know that. I wasn't clicking
yeah,
with
yeah,
the name.
so-
OER's been around for a long time.
Yeah, they've been around for about the same amount of time as Dispatch has.
Well, so have I, and I don't have like OAR as a abbreviation for my name. So
Cool. Yeah. So, anyways, I got to see them this past weekend. And it was a lot of fun. But I realized how much I can and cannot drink without feeling it the next day. Because on Sunday I was an absolute waste of space, and it was one of the top 5 hangovers I've ever had in my entire life. It was awful, but well worth it. Had a blast. It was a great show. And
was it 1 in a million?
It was, and I'm looking forward to this weekend flying out to Colorado to see My Morning Jacket at Red Rocks, and I'm very excited for that.
John, the retired guy, I have seen Australian Pink Floyd. I've also seen Dark Star. No, Dark Star is the Grateful Dead one. But I've seen another one. There's another Pink Floyd cover band as well that I've seen. But yeah.
Nice.
It's like Zoso. Zoso, I'm not sure if they're still touring, was a great Led Zeppelin cover band. Appetite for Destruction, which is a Guns N' Roses cover band. There's lots of, that are true dedicated to being bands at their height.
Yeah.
Nice. Should we take a commercial break?
6 minutes in.
No, I'm just kidding. I did go see the movie that Nick recommended a few weeks ago. It was a Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. And there's a lot of other people in it, but I don't want to spoil you because I don't know if it's common knowledge that they're in it, because I didn't know they were
Cameos.
Cameos, yeah. And you're like going, oh, okay. Oh,
it's not for everybody. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, my parents did not like it. They're like, it's just too bloody. And I was like, well.
Oh, it's definitely bloody. It's bloody and gross.
Yeah.
But when did Brad Pitt become funny? Has he always been funny?
Yeah, he's been a funny guy.
He wasn't funny in Fight Club. I don't remember him being funny.
Oh, yeah, he was funny in Fight Club.
He did some stuff, but yeah, like burn before reading, I think, or burn after reading. Yeah, that was
all of those Friends episodes.
He wasn't funny. He wasn't funny in A River Runs Through It. I mean, he wasn't funny in that movie.
Yeah, that's not a funny movie.
Okay, but he's hilarious. He's hilarious in this movie. You want to hang? You watch this movie. I want to hang out with Brad Pitt.
I've always wanted to hang out with Brad Pitt.
Maybe we can get him on the show.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
I can tell him how bad
yeah.
fucking that movie was that he was in with Eric Bana.
Troy?
Oh, you didn't like Troy?
Bomb. I walked out of the theater for Troy.
Wow.
That movie was terrible.
It has its moments, but yeah, I kind of agree with Chris.
It does have its Achilles heel. It does.
Hello.
It's got its moments that are good, like some of the fight stuff, but then a lot of it's just like, get
what
the fuck on with it. Like it's just fuck.
Yeah,
well,
the theater.
Yeah, I mean the thing is the thing is that like it's a weird period, that late 90s, early 2000s, where there's a lot of really great weird independent movies that I love. But there's a lot of copying too. We talked about that. It's like you have Titanic, and then you have Michael Bay copy that format and make Pearl Harbor, which was a shit show.
Awful.
And then you have Gladiator in 2000, and then you have Troy made a few years later trying to copy Gladiator. I was like, no, like you can't do that. You can't just.
But you had Turner and Hooch, and then you had that like shitty remake K9. It was like, what are you trying?
I love K9.
K9's a good movie. That's got a Belushi in it.
It's fine, guys. I saw it in the movie.
I actually will watch K9 over Turner and Hooch. I like Turner and Hooch too, but I will watch K9 over Turner.
Well, Turner and Hooch didn't Henry Winkler get fired from the director because of Tom Hanks? They did not see eye to eye. So
they hated.
Oh, we lost him
prior to that or something. God damn it!
Well, because he does.
Anyway,
Tom Hanks does challenge the Fonz in Happy Days.
He does.
Yeah, they did not like each other prior. They didn't like each other prior to it, and then when he was hired to be in that movie, Tom Hanks did everything he could to get him not on the film, and so that's
which is funny because two of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
are Tom Hanks and Henry Winkler. I mean, everyone always says two nicest guys in the world, but they don't like it. Is it because they're battling on who is the nicest?
I don't know.
Could that be it?
I just think that there's sometimes you could be even a nice guy, and there's still people that you're not getting along with. I'm
going to work on getting them both on the show, and we're going to get them together.
Yeah,
and we're going to get them to
Yeah, that
to-
sounds like
bond.
doable. Mhm.
Yeah.
Will Fry brings up two more movies I totally forgot about at that same time period: of Kingdom
Oh,
of
yeah.
Heaven and
Mhm.
Alexander. Yeah, which are
I didn't see Alexander.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
And Kingdom of Heaven, though,
Was it Alexander Hamilton?
I thought that was actually pretty decent, right?
Yeah,
Kingdom
that's a
of
good
Heaven,
movie.
Kingdom of Heaven, it has its moments. It's kind of like Troy.
Who's in-
It has its moments that are good.
Who's in
And then
Kingdom of Heaven?
But it
Orlando
wasn't.
Bloom, I
It
think.
wasn't a super long movie like Troy was, though, right?
No, it wasn't like an epic. No.
Well, I watched Troy recently, and the best part was I could fast forward through the boring parts.
Never watched Troy. I was just like, this is just a shitty ripoff of. I was
Gladiator?
like, no. Yeah, I was like, and you know my thoughts on Gladiator, so why would I double down and go for the second-rate Gladiator?
There's always stupid stuff in movies, like like when they remade Godzilla a few years ago, and there's a scene where
With Bryan Cranston in it.
right, yeah, but like towards the end, and Elizabeth Olsen, is carrying her baby. She's worried about her husband because he went back to like save somebody or fight Godzilla or whatnot, and she gives her baby to this random person of like, hey, watch my baby. I was like, no mother in the history of motherhood would do that,
Yeah.
And it's just stupid. And it's the thing is like same as like at the end of Troy, like you have this sacred sword of Troy of like it's this symbol, it's like will unify the people, and then Orlando Bloom just gives it to this random homeless guy. He's like, as long as someone has this, the spirit of Troy will live. It's like, why would you give it to that guy? He's just gonna go sell it for scrap metal. It's just dumb.
Well, Orlando Bloom's character was kind of weak.
He was, yeah.
I mean, he was. I mean, he got his brother killed. He was, he's pretty spoiler. Pretty selfish. Selfish dude.
I realize now why Matt has not watched Troy. He doesn't like movies about gladiators.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. I can't really think of a single one that I.
You were saying about the mother giving up the baby. I can't remember the comedian, but he goes, you're at the beach and you have to go to the bathroom, or you want to go in the water. So you always turn to that stranger and say, "Hey, perfect stranger, can you watch my stuff?" So some other perfect stranger, some other perfect stranger doesn't steal it. And I was like, never. I've done that 1,000. Hey, can you watch my stuff? Sure.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? You talk about like the era of the movies copying movies, and it reminds me of Armageddon and the movie Deep Impact.
Oh yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But I fucking love both of those movies.
Well, Deep Impact, that was a porn movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. I thought
the whole
both
time they
those
tried to
movies
get
were great.
finances
I mean,
for
obviously,
that.
you have like the Armageddon was much more of the the fanfare of like the Bruce Willis and Liv Tyler and with the the
Steve
soundtrack
Buscemi.
of Aerosmith and everything.
And
It's
walking
like
in slow motion.
The big summer blockbuster with all the crazy cast, and then you had Deep Impact, which I thought was way more terrifying, right? Because shit hits the fan, like, and they kind of give you the end of days scenario for that movie. And I thought that was such a for its time. I thought it was really, really well done.
Missed opportunity for a Deeper Impact sequel.
Deep Impact 2, even Deeper Impact.
That's definitely a porn movie.
John Holmes stars in Deeper Impact.
Balls deep.
Just imagining the Hollywood like trying to get financed for this movie, and they're like, "This is the name of your movie, and you're gonna have a black president." This is so unbelievable. Okay,
that's right. Because Morgan Freeman. Right?
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman. Like, it's so good.
I remember an interview when Bruce Almighty came out, and they were at.
They were at the gas station.
All right, I'm back now. All right. Yeah, like I remember them
right.
asking Morgan Freeman about, like, you played president. Where do you go from here? And he's like, well, I have to play God now. And, like, he's playing God and Bruce Almighty. It's like,
Yeah, that's right. I forgot he played God and Bruce Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
Not Bruce Almighty. Yeah, Bruce. What was the second one?
Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty.
That was. I think I watched like 5 minutes of that.
It was terrible.
And said, okay, at some point you just gotta go, okay, this movie's gonna suck. I mean, how do they not know the whole time they're making it? It's gonna suck.
That was early enough in Steve Carell's career where it's like, let's just make something to get my name out there, But yeah. because like that was I think right after the 40-year-old version or before it. It's right there at the same time.
Yeah, and they didn't know that 40-year-old version was going to hit the way that it did too. You know, like sometimes they make those.
It didn't realize it would make a deep impact. Yeah,
but actually,
culturally,
was 40-year-old virgin a hit?
Yeah,
It was pop. It was pop. It was
yeah,
popular.
it was very. Yeah, it put him on the map, Steve Carell, as far as a comedic actor that could be in a movie.
Yeah,
so
because the hair scene is real. I mean, it's.
yeah.
And
waxing. Yeah.
I remember thinking Seth Rogen. I thought Seth Rogen was like 35 in that movie, and he was like 21.
Whoa,
he looks so old.
That was intense there.
I'm sorry, it's who he is.
I love me some Seth Rogen. Some Seth Rogen. He's funny.
What about this Rogen behind me?
No, fuck that guy.
That's from his U.S. Ultimate
the
Fighting thing.
Yeah,
and he had that. Some guy got knocked out. It's made that strange face. I'm like going, okay, I got to use that. I gotta use it since we're getting all these subscribers. I gotta keep coming up with these great thumbnails.
Oh, interesting. So John, the retired guy, says that they're making another version of the Thomas Crown Affair with Michael B. Jordan. That's interesting. I actually really liked the Thomas Crown Affair.
The one with
GoldenEye.
With GoldenEye.
And Rene Russo.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
That was a very good. Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that. What came out? 30?
Did you guys see the original?
Ago?
It was somewhere in like 2002 or 3, somewhere in there.
What was it?
It's somewhere right in that period. Yeah, it's somewhere in the early 2000s or maybe even 99, but it's somewhere in that period. Because I remember it was a big deal because like Rene Russo showed her
1999.
You know, and it was like wow, because she had never done it. You know.
Oh, she is a fox. Yeah. They're going to film in San Francisco apparently. The sequel to Thomas Crown Affair. Very cool.
Bring a jacket.
I can't see Thomas. I can't see Michael B. Jordan pulling it off. Really,
he's a really good actor, though.
I don't. I think he's a horrible actor.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see the attraction of Michael B. Jordan either.
Yeah, I mean, he's like it's like Sylvester Stallone. You know, it's like he's perfect for Creed because like Sylvester Stallone is not a great actor either, but he pulls off what he can pull off. Name one critically acclaimed acting from Sylvester Stallone, Jack.
Stop or my mother will shoot.
Right.
Death Race 2000.
Yeah. The First Blood was it was not over the top. He does a fantastic job acting. It's when all of a sudden now he's a superhero and he has to go into Vietnam, and that's when the character kind of got okay.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I think First Blood is absolutely his best movie, like his best acting movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
because he was hungry, and then after that,
well, he needed to get past. He needed to get past just like I'm only Rocky, and so he was trying to have it's like Harrison Ford trying to get away from Han Solo. It's like I've got to have something else,
right?
And
And
Glorious is like shouting in all caps. Copland.
Yeah, Copland.
I
haven't seen Copland.
99, yeah.
And Trieste, the first one's 68. Sorry, I mentioned 70s, but Steve McQueen is in it. So I thought it was like 1970. I was close, somewhere in that early.
Yeah.
Well, has anybody else seen that? Because I liked the original, the 68 version.
I probably saw it because I used to watch a lot of Steve McQueen movies, but I don't
and it kind of affected how I saw the 99 version because I liked the 99 version, but I was a bit more of like a
because Steve McQueen always had to be a hero.
I remember for like a significant period of time after watching the Thomas Crown Affair, I would eat my steak differently based upon how Pierce Brosnan ate his steak and how he cut it and how he ate it. I tried to emulate that for a significant amount of time until my wife was like, "Why the fuck are you eating your steak like that?" But my then girlfriend, but my now wife.
It's funny how people do. They remember stuff from movies and they try to copy it. It's like you wouldn't believe how many people will cut garlic with a razor blade from Goodfellas because they do that, and they're like, he would cut it so fine it would just evaporate into. It's like if you don't do that, like, oh yeah, I want to make it super thin.
I tried it once and lost a finger, so it was like I can't do it. I always said, how does he do it so? He's in prison. I realize they have special privileges because they're mobsters, but how sharp was that razor blade? Just it's like a Ginsu knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to back to First Blood, that was I thought he did well in the Rocky movies also.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying he's good for the parts that he wrote for himself. But like,
sure,
I would not cast Sylvester Stallone in A Beautiful Mind or something.
Well, because you'll never know, because like a lot like with Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds made Deliverance, and he was critically acclaimed and everything like that. And they told him, okay, don't go make all these stupid car movies. And he went and made all these, which were great. I mean, Bandit and Gator and all these other movies, they're fantastic. For action.
It paid for a lot of cocaine.
But even Burt Reynolds though was not really that great of an actor. Like the first really critically acclaimed acting role he got was Boogie Nights.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but when he was, if you watch, you've seen Deliverance.
Yeah, of course.
He's fantastic. They told him not to go. Don't go for the popcorn movie. Stay in the serious. And he said, "No, I'm going." Like Matt said, he's going for the money.
He broke his ass in that film. He fell off with a waterfall and like hit a rock and broke his ass.
Well, so did
Coccyx.
Yeah.
So did Ned Beatty. Didn't he break his ass too in that movie?
I'm not sure. He definitely got it, bro. Yeah.
Have you seen Deliverance, Matt?
I'm not from Tennessee.
I've not seen.
Not in Georgia.
You've not seen Deliverance either?
Nope.
Oh my god! So you don't know about the banjo? Kid.
I know the premise.
Well, I know the banjo.
It's like one of the most widely known premises.
It's like knowing the Imperial March and never watching Star Wars. Like people know it.
Yeah, I highly recommend Deliverance. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
But that's what happened with Burt Reynolds. They said, don't, but he, you're gonna turn around, you're gonna turn away money, or you're gonna be, there's some. What was it? Daniel Day-Lewis. Obviously, he doesn't act anymore, but he was a fantastic actor. But he picked and choose what he wasn't out there for commercial.
Right.
He'd make a movie every 3 or 4 years.
When you win an Oscar every time you act, you can kind of do that.
He's one of the few actors out there that can absolutely terrify me with his roles.
Yeah,
like Billy the Butcher, like that role is Billy. That was his name, right? Billy the Butcher.
That's him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I wasn't getting confused with the boys. But Billy the Butcher, that character in itself, like terrified me. It scared me. And watching him, like, wow, this role is just believable and it's scary.
What's funny about Billy the Butcher is that I actually agreed with him a lot in that movie. Because I get it, because like he's living out of fear, right. The fear of his world changing, and I get it, but I also get Leo DiCaprio's complete. I get both sides of that movie, and that's.
You didn't like Lincoln though, did you?
I liked what he did in Lincoln. I mean, I don't like Lincoln the president, but
because he doesn't get assassinated in the movie. So
well, he has to go. Yeah, he's got to go see a. He's going to go see a film.
Yeah,
and that film was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Sherry says Burt Reynolds was
years
great.
ago.
She says Burt Reynolds was great in The Longest Yard. Yes, he was.
He was. That's a good one.
And he used that line on women all the time.
I don't think Burt had to use a line.
No, Burt just walked in a room, made sure.
Burt had a line in his shorts.
Yeah. By the way, John, the retired guy, Stallone would have been great as Yoda. Hey, Yoda.
Hey,
Luke. Dude, I do not.
I don't know.
Which is the Force is,
Hey.
It would have been funny to see like Yoda walking around and every now and then grab his crotch and just kind of.
But you gotta give Stallone credit too, because when he wrote Rocky, they wanted to pay him $300,000 for but he says no, I played because they wanted James Caan, I believe, was one of the guys we were talking about. They're talking about all kinds of different guys.
James Caan to play the role of Rocky Balboa.
Yeah,
of Rocky Balboa.
I can see him doing that too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he'd have been. It's hard to because you know Sylvester Stallone, but I think it was they wanted.
Could you imagine Robert De Niro as a boxer? That would have been a good role too.
Yeah, I don't think he could. I don't think he could pull it off.
Okay, well,
not unless he put on a lot of weight to do it. But you know, he risked everything. He was poor. He had no money, and here he is. He goes, no, I'm playing the part. It was the best movie ever made. I mean, I wonder how many other actors have done that and turned down a role, and we don't know, never heard from him again. But yeah, he said, nope, I'm playing the part.
I mean, there was another movie that should have won Best Oscar. Just saying, but didn't. So
was it
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Well, that was
Star
the same
Wars.
year, though, was it? Because I think the year
I'm pretty sure it was
the year that the year that Star Wars was nominated was the year that Annie Hall won, and Rocky won the year before.
Oh, was it? Because
Yeah,
I thought Rocky was 70.
Well, it came out in 76.
All right,
look it up.
I'm looking it up.
But speaking of, like, I think they did that with Christopher Walken's, like, parts, and Christopher Walken auditioned for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's like,
Oh,
young Luke, your father, he wanted to have you this lightsaber, but your uncle, he wouldn't allow it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you saw The Deer Hunter, right?
Oh yeah.
That's one of Walken's first major movies.
oh yeah.
It's kind of
No, you're right. Deer Hunt or Annie Hall was 77. Rocky 76. So
It's funny about The Deer Hunter, especially like the Vietnam, towards the end of the Vietnam scenes, is that the safety harness actually snapped on the helicopter when they were hanging off of the
Oh, really?
And they were like, they basically had to make the decision of like, because the helicopter was going to get something about it, and so they had to drop. And so there's rocks all in that creek, and they said like, the odds of them dying were pretty high, but they just happened to land in the right spot.
Wow, that's good.
And the other actor that was in the cages, he was terrified of rats, and then the director put him in there without telling him.
Whatever happened to that guy?
He was in stuff.
I know he was in stuff, but he
Ratatouille.
not.
What are you talking about?
It's Raccoony. Not. No.
I'm gonna look it up. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, but because like his first reactions are made it into the film, because you hear him going, "There's rats in here, Mike, there's rats in here," and like that's actually him yelling at the director,
John Savage.
John Savage, yeah,
Yeah,
he's been in lots of stuff. I just can't remember anything off the top of my head.
But he was in like
really savage.
He's Randy Savage's brother. Yeah.
You know what's really, really super savage?
Just take a commercial break right now.
Jumping right to a commercial break. It's the most savage thing we can possibly do.
I thought you were talking about Fred Savage.
Yeah, poor Fred Savage, man. He's can't get a job, right?
Yeah, but
I guess he has been in a lot of stuff. He's still acting.
Yeah.
You just don't see him in anything.
Richard Simmons was the original voice of Darth Vader. That would be.
Get up! I'm your father! No!
I was really confused by Richard Simmons growing up. So.
I used to always project Samuel Jackson doing R2-D2's voice.
Right.
Like every beep, when Steve says, "Don't get technical with me," like, what did he say? And then think of it in a Samuel Jackson voice.
Fuck you, man.
Man, fuck you. I got the plans. What the fuck you doing? You just bitching. And at the end, like they're two getting medals, and just picture him.
Oh, we just lost him again.
Like, oh, man, fuck, I got shot. Oh, shit, bro, didn't I?
I was gonna say,
like, he's Rocky bitching because he didn't get a medal. It's like, good.
I was gonna say in The Deer Hunter, one of the most intense movie scenes in the history of movies was the Russian roulette one, because it's it is intense. I mean, it's like you're going, oh my god, and that stuff went on,
That's another movie though that I like that movie, but it doesn't hold up today because it's so long.
When I first saw it was okay because I think but now, like you said, now it's like 3 hours long.
It's so long, like you can't sit through it because it's a typical '70s movie where it's just like the plot is so drawn out. It's like, get to it, come on. Because even Apocalypse Now was supposed to be like 4 hours or something long, and because like he had an original idea of showing like a history of Vietnam through the French and Americans and all this stuff, and there's a lot of cut stuff, and then it's just kind of and that's why like the Edge of Darkness, I think is what it's called, which is the early '90s documentary of the making of Apocalypse Now. To me, is better than the movie Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm. It smells like
Dragon's Breath.
Victory. Well, do you want to talk about that, Matt?
It's behind your head, like he's gonna snap like your head there. So
did we all four watch it?
I have not.
Chris
but
did
I'm
not
interested
watch
to
it.
hear what you guys think, and then I perhaps will watch it on my flight on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's only one nude scene that I can remember.
There's a bunch. It was fun. What is funny is
spoilers though, because we'll talk about Game of Thrones for just a bit here. What is this new series called?
House of the Dragon.
Oh, okay, thanks. I forgot.
I thought it was Dungeons and Dragons.
It was weird. Is like Daemon Targaryen. He's like the party pooper. There's an orgy going all around him. He's all mopey. He's like, how can you be mopey when there's a freaking orgy going around? What the hell?
Well, because he's having a little trouble. We saw he was having a little trouble there. Remember, there was no blue pill for him. So, am I right? He was a little tense, a little stressed because he wants to be king.
I do like his mistress, which is the actress from Devs and Ex Machina.
Okay, yeah, both those shows. Good.
Yeah, I told Chris before we started recording. I said it was a little slow, but I didn't hate it. I liked it. It's something I will definitely watch going forward. I was into it, but I was like, it wasn't like because Game of Thrones hit me. The pilot was like, it was like. Boom! It hit the ground running. This was kind of like, all right, let's get our traction on. But it didn't.
Yeah, and like this is gonna get good. I'm not sure. Like I can't see this going more than 3 seasons, and it shouldn't go more than 3 seasons. I mean, really, I think 2 should be sufficient because it's really a very short period of time. But what we're seeing right now is coming from a book, a novella called "The Rogue Prince." And it's all about Daemon Targaryen, and then so all the women right now are young in the show. The two, which will eventually be the princess and the queen, and so you're seeing like the fallout between the 2 brothers, and then all these seeds are being planted now, and then at some point the show is going to leap forward to where the women are grown and they have children of their own.
I kind of had suspected like we were gonna get some movement forward because I was like, are we gonna stay with the same actress like for 5 seasons just to see her grow up, or and just real quick, Jim in the comments says Matt did a good job. I assume you're talking about Matt Smith and not me because I thought so too. I thought he did a great job as that role because
I was like, what the fuck did Matt do?
Well, I mean, and I've known him from Doctor Who days and what have you. So, but seeing him
that's who it is. He played
Doctor Who.
Yeah, but also he was the king. He played King Phillips in The Crown.
Oh, I never watched that.
Oh yeah, he did.
That was bugging me I kept going, what show was this guy in? Now, okay, do you think here's a spoiler? Well, we're always spoiling. Do you think he's poisoning the king with the throne? No, because he's got that thing with the back. He cuts his hand on something on the throne.
When that happens, it's a bad omen. Like,
that's what I thought.
Okay.
I thought this was like some symbolic kind of thing. Oh shit, we're losing Nick at the best part. But yeah, I took that.
Okay, because
anytime a queen, princess, whoever sits on the throne, the Iron Throne, and it cuts them, it's a bad omen. It means the throne has spurned them, like they're not worthy to be king. That's usually how it's
Did the queen sit on it at any time? Because
no one has sat on it except for Damon in this show, anyhow, except for Damon and.
If there's going to be a period joke in here, I think we need to skip it.
Well, it wasn't a period joke. It was a bloody joke because
that was a bloody wrong joke.
I mean that's a tough decision to make, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we'll ask you. You're the king. He goes, and she's like, no, save me, and they do the cut. I'm like, oh my god,
I could have gone without the C-section scene. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and that would probably lead like the biggest spoiler or what have you, but I think that's like the most brutal moment of the whole episode. That's like on the level of like a beheading, like you're taking his character and doing this gruesome thing. So definitely, if you're squeamish at heart, that whole sequence
Does his daughter know that he made that decision?
No, but that'll come out.
Okay.
I think that's one of those knowledge things that's kept and then is revealed or something. Or I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. But Nick's like, no.
I don't think. I mean, it could. You don't know because, like I said, like this. The only thing about this that we know as readers is you have the World of Ice and Fire, which is like a general history book of this time period. You have Fire and Blood, which is a Targaryen history book. And then you have the two novellas, which are The Rogue Prince and The Princess and the Queen. And they're novellas, so they're not like a full book. They're just like little short stories. But it's going to get really good. Like once you can see the seeds already planted in this first episode of what's going to happen, like as in, and so because you see the two young women, right? Like the princess and then her best friend. You see like what her dad was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you see what's going to happen, and you've seen that already. Like what happened to the previous king's sister. She was nominated to be the next king, and she was passed over. So she's the queen who never was. So there's always going to be that conflict of like who's more important, a male heir or the actual rightful person.
Right.
And that's where it's going to go. And you're going to see a lot of really kick-ass dragon fights and fights in general, and it should get really good.
I'm excited because of dragons, and if there's one way to explain this show, it's the fact that when you watch Star Wars and you're like, why aren't there like, and I'm talking original trilogy,
why aren't there gladiators?
No, you're like, why aren't there more like Jedi around? I'd like to see what happened before there was more Jedis. So this prequel series is kind of like that, except with dragons. You're like, I want to see more dragons, and it's just like, boom, we got more dragons.
I mean, I see why they started with this of all. This is a really interesting time because this is the last time you'll see dragons until Dany in the Game of Thrones. But there's another rebellion that happens like another 80 years into the future past this story. It's the Blackfire Rebellion, where basically you have a bastard Targaryen from the same kid. It's a king. So he has his rightful heir and a bastard. And the king gave the Valyrian steel sword to the bastard instead of his true-born son. So like there's this whole like war between all the seven kingdoms of who's the rightful king. And I could see them making that series as well because it's really good.
It was Isaac. No, it was Ishmael.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of wanted to see Aegon the Conqueror, like the very first Targaryen that come over, and do all this, and but it's like I got why they chose this story of all of them to start with because it'll grab people and be like, oh, let's watch this.
Did the ratings do well?
Yeah, I think it's the highest viewed HBO show since Game of Thrones ended.
Oh, okay.
Well, shit, yeah. I was like, hey, my HBO account is relevant again because I was about ready to drop it because nothing's been happening on HBO. So I think it debuted with 10 million viewers or maybe over 10 million.
Nice.
And it was number one in Europe as well.
Well, that's the only ones I can count because some people may use other people's accounts.
Yeah, that's a whole.
I've heard that's a thing, but
Well, they don't. They count. I think views, like how many times it's viewed, not how many.
Okay.
Yeah, I think streaming views it like so. It doesn't matter if all four of us are using one streaming service, they count how many times it was viewed.
Jim says it crashed the HBO Max servers. Nice. And Nick froze up again. So yeah, I definitely think Chris should watch it. I think he would enjoy it.
Yeah,
to me, it was just a little slow at time. It was like, okay, get to the.
Yeah, I'm still trudging along some other shows too, so I got some stuff to catch up on. But
your Pinky Blinders.
Season 4.
Pay Gabe Lawing does. I might do a rewatch. No, I can't do it too soon.
Got Luca Changretta with Adrian Brody.
Oh right, yeah.
That's an intense. Like
it took me. I didn't believe him in that character for the longest time, and I finally got used to him because
he's always played the nicer, soft.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because I had the same problem. I'm like going,
but he's a fucking stone cold badass in this series. And granted, I'm only an episode or two into it, but yeah, man, it's the layers of this show. I'm starting to see. I'm starting to worry that I think that this show might layer itself too much. Like there's so many, much shit happening.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I was satisfied with the conclusion.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like our show.
It's open ended, and that's why they're thinking about making a movie. So cause it is open ended to where it's like, oh yeah, that's fine. You totally accept the ending, but you're like, oh, I can see where they do something else.
Yeah, I'm loving watching the my favorite character, and quite honestly, I mean, I'm assuming he's probably gotten the awards for it, but probably the best actor on that set is whoever plays Arthur. Like Arthur's character is just fucking awesome. Like so much going on with Arthur,
and he gets more
out there.
He has more range. If that's.
Yeah, so seeing him go from the beginning of the series when he was, he was the badass, like he was the guy you don't mess with. He kind of had a couple of screws loose. To almost like seeing a roller coaster of him, meeting Linda, marrying Linda,
my Linda.
And kind of like, and here I am. I'm predicting I'm at an upswing for him because they just attempted to take his life at the factory. And he took out those two hitmen, and you can start seeing like he's unraveling again, right? And like he's got some screws loose, and he's got his inner demons of trying to make up for the fact that he feels like John's death is his fault because he's the one who killed the Luca, right? But kind of like seeing that, like as dumb as a character might be, like his actual character is just kind of like a doofus, like badass, like henchman type of guy, right? That his story is so goddamn complicated, and whomever that actor is,
Paul Anderson,
like unbelievable range. Like
he's Paul Anderson.
Good job. I love it. I love him. My favorite character of the show.
Just laughing at Matt over eating these Doritos, pointing at Jack, like, yeah,
yeah, it's Paul Anderson. Yes, you're right. Not Paul Anderson.
So I'm excited to see that. The good thing about that show is that the seasons are relatively short. You're looking at 6-episode seasons, so it's not too hard to get through it all.
I think the episodes are a little longer, aren't they? Final season.
Yeah, it's a short season, so the episodes are longer.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about the last season is you guys might know her name. She was in the Queen's Gambit and.
Oh, okay.
She's only in she's like a bit role in like the next to last season, but the time that went between the next to last season and the last season, it's like, well, she's a big actress now, so they try to give her more screen time. I'm like, I don't care about her. Show me more. I know she's a big name actress, but give me somebody else.
Yeah.
Just trying to draw the people in.
Yeah.
Trying to give the people what they want.
Yeah, well, she's like the first person you see on the Netflix, like the cover of the show, and you're like, she's not even in the show, but like 2 seasons.
Yeah, because I was going
clickbait.
Yeah.
So, she got very popular on this show.
So I also sat down with my daughter at her request. She wanted to watch Top Gun.
Okay.
Original. Mm-hmm. I was like, let's go for it, kid. And she was getting into it. And she had to turn it off. She had to turn it off when
took her breath away.
Well, no, when Goose died.
Yeah.
Oh no!
She was fucking broken up about it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she was really upset about it. And I was like, oh fuck, that was an unexpected consequence of watching this movie.
It does hit hard the first time you watch it. Yeah.
Did you point out to her he shows up on ER
with less hair?
But I was watching, and she was like legitimately upset about it, and like I took that for granted. I didn't know how much that was getting, probably because I've seen that movie 4,552 times. Yeah. But yeah, it was adorable, and I also felt bad about it. But she really had some serious emotion about them.
Did she ever go back and finish it?
No, she's like,
No.
no, I don't want to watch it because I don't want to watch it.
My daughter can get anxiety about certain things that she watches. So, we always kind of like, but we've been watching a lot of comedy shows lately. So like trying to temper that,
Yeah.
like what's the right vibe that she's not going to have like anxiety before she goes to bed or something like that.
Yeah,
So
make her watch Neverending Story now and with the trade you've seen.
Fuck.
Artax. Artax, yeah, of course. Yeah.
now,
Swamp of Never-Ending Sorrow, or whatever his name was.
Nick, I think only Nick and I probably have seen It's Only Murders in the Building.
Yep.
So
Love the ending. It was good.
Season 2 ended.
And that's Steve Martin's final role, isn't it?
He said they're going to make one more season, and then he's done.
With Paul Rudd,
okay.
that signed on for season 3.
Right.
Yeah, but
Was
he said that
Was he play
Steve
the
Martin,
kid?
I don't know if I haven't seen season 2 yet.
But
Okay,
Steve Martin's retiring from acting after season 3. Yeah. So
Okay, so I had only heard the first part where I had heard that he was, when he was done with It's Only Murders, Only Murders in the Building, that he was going to be done. And so I just read that headline, but I didn't read deeper into this season or exactly how it would play out with the show. And so there's a moment in the end of season 2 where I was like, holy fuck, I guess he's done with this show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, because I was like, oh, he's I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just saying that there's
it's not
What else could that possibly fucking
those
mean?
2 things, yeah.
I don't know.
I saw that coming.
When he got hit by the truck and dragged 4 blocks, I said, oh, they must be killing him off.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that, but I was trying to be very
You didn't try that
failed.
fucking hard.
Yeah, you drove that one right off the cliff. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. I didn't think they're just going to kill him off, and that's how he's going to end his acting career.
I didn't say that.
How did they put 2 and 2 together like that?
All right.
Remember
Well,
in Star Wars they blew up
I
the...
didn't spoil Jim on that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Mild spoilers.
I'm curious.
It's not my fault you guys aren't up to date on it.
It just ended.
I felt the show could have ended right there, and I would have been fine with it.
Well, because there's a death of the streets.
Yeah, and the way they ended it.
The way they, well, it's like even.
All right,
like
can we just stop talking about it because you guys have fucked up the whole series for us?
Yeah.
But I mean, who would have known that they would have killed Tina Fey's character too?
She had it coming.
Nice
Well,
attempt at humor to cover up your fuck up.
Well, what's going to
Because now the problem is that the problem is now I'm going to be watching this from start, and I'm
There's a moment. There's
a moment. Matt just said it.
I will see myself out of this podcast now.
The only
well,
thing
it's too late now.
it's a small technicality, but the only thing I'm interested in with season 3 is that it's called Only Murders in the Building. So they have to happen in the building. But
is Matt not coming back?
I bet he will. But
he really left.
The teaser for season 3, the murder does not happen in the building. So you're like, well, it's not in the building. So how can it be only murders in the building? Did you hear that, Matt?
No.
Okay.
Who fucking cares if you heard it?
Okay. Well, I was saying, like, what the only thing that kind of made me kind of pause a little bit was the last scene in the teaser for season 3.
Oh,
That it's called Only Murders in the Building, but the murder doesn't happen in the building. So I was like, well, how does that work? But anyway, another good show I want to recommend to you guys. I gave it a shot. It's on HBO as well, Matt. So something else to watch on HBO. It's called Tokyo Vice. And it's with the actors that you'll know from it are the guy that played Baby Driver in Baby Driver. I don't know his name, but he's
Paul Simon.
Yeah, Paul Simon. Yeah.
No, Steve Martin.
He was dead the whole time.
So it takes place in 1999, and it's about this kid who moves to Tokyo because he wants to work for like Tokyo's best newspaper, and he gets put on the police beat. And Ken I never say his name right, but he's in Last
Watanabe?
Samurai. He's been in lots of what's not yeah. He's the other like
He's
main
also
kind of
Godzilla with
Godzilla,
Bryan Cranston.
Ryan Cranston, yeah. And then his boss she was in Pacific Rim and Babel, but like it's pretty good. But it's all about like two rival gangs in Japan, like, and it's a pretty good show. I kind of was like, damn it, I thought it was gonna be like a one season series, and I was like,
how does it end? How does it end?
We'll let Matt tell you that.
Well, it ends just like Mythic Quest ends. And I did finish that show. Season 2 was really good. I won't say anything about that, but if you have Apple Plus, check out Mythic Quest, as recommended by Jack.
Matt Tree says the memoir is good.
I don't know what that one is.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but if you have Apple Plus, there's a show called Home, Home, and it's kind of more of like a show that just shows you really cool homes. And the first episode in the first season, mild spoilers, it's a house that's like inside a greenhouse. So this guy like built this greenhouse, and his house is inside the greenhouse. It's really cool.
Wait. Is it Is it in the greenhouse?
It is. It's inside of it.
Oh, it's inside of it. Wow.
Yeah.
Do they grow stuff, or is it just for looks?
No, they do. They grow stuff. So, and it's like a family that lives within the. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Okay, what's the advantage to living inside, having your house inside the greenhouse?
I think they're in Sweden. They're somewhere like further north. Chris Doran says completely binged Mythic Quest.
Absolutely.
So, loved it.
Joe, by far, her and Poppy.
Yeah.
To me, they make that show. I mean, yes, all the actors are great, but like without those two, it just wouldn't be the same.
And to that point, like the actors that are on there that are heavy hitters that you recognize, like, but those are the two that come forward or like rise to the top, though. Poppy and Joe, their characters, and like, agreed with Joe.
Is Poppy sloppy?
No,
I don't know.
Seinfeld.
He does have some vivid dreams.
Poppy's a little sloppy. You don't remember that episode?
No.
Poppy's he didn't wash his hand after peeing, and then and Jerry watches it.
I remember that now.
Yeah, because she wouldn't eat the pie. Remember?
Right.
Why won't you eat the pie?
But Matt, wasn't that episode right in the middle there where they're doing the LARPing with Joe? Yeah, with Joe.
That episode was awesome.
Yeah,
so awesome.
That is good.
So she's in. I haven't seen it, but she's in Better Call Saul, right?
She is. I don't recall.
You don't recall Saul? Hey, that's over now. That's over now, right?
Yeah, it has not. The last season has not been put on Netflix yet.
Oh, so you haven't finished it?
I haven't. Yeah, I've seen season 1 through 5.
Because I was going to say, okay, now you have to watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, right, we're all waiting.
I will as soon as Better Call Saul season 6 gets put on Netflix. I'll watch it, and then I'll go into Better Call Saul.
All right.
So
I got to catch up
to watch a show that's 10 years old.
Yeah, I got to catch up on Better Call Saul.
That's had cultural relevance.
I guess in New Mexico they put a statue, and some politician got mad here. Oh, now we're honoring drug dealers.
Right.
I said it's a TV show, dumbass.
Right.
Just relax.
Well, it's the same as like they tried to remove the Rocky statue from Philadelphia like a decade ago. It's a movie prop. It's not anything of significance.
And yet we can't get a pedophile out of Florida. So go figure. Hey, that's Chris's favorite politician. What are we looking at?
Joe.
Oh, Better Call Saul. So this is spoilers. I can't read this. This is spoiling me. Does she die?
Yeah, Steve Martin runs.
Oh no, we should do everything we possibly could to not fucking spoil that. Yeah. Let me X out of this fucking window. So I don't want to ruin things for you.
Tree says that I'll say the last couple episodes of Better Call Saul won't work as well without the context of Breaking Bad.
Oh.
So, it's like one of those, like, you got to watch Revenge of the Sith before you watch the episodes. In Clone Wars.
Actually, you don't.
Oh, what?
You don't have to.
Jack's weighing in. He's saying no.
No, I'm not saying Better Call Saul. I'm saying your point. Said no. Star Wars crap.
Star Wars crap.
You don't have to rewatch it.
Okay.
I did finish Upload season 2. And I got to tell you, it wasn't as season 2 was not as good as season 1.
Not. Yeah, it was not.
It was not as good. It felt rushed.
Yep.
It got very political, which I was okay with, but it was like, okay, I was like, what are we doing here, guys?
I agree. Yeah, like because it started out fine in season 2, and then it just kind of comes to an end, and you're like, what the hell? And then like that's it, and then you're like,
yeah. I mean, I know you said it was because of COVID.
Yeah.
But it was. I go, okay. I love season 1. I thought season 1 was outstanding. Season 2, I was like, I was struggling to get through it.
Mm.
I said, okay, it's funny. It's got funny parts on it, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, I'll watch season 3, but it was like,
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't going to say that, when you were watching it, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate you respecting the fact that I hadn't seen the whole thing.
I hadn't seen it. I don't want to spoil you guys. Like fuck Matt.
I really respect that about you, Nick.
There was one thing I wanted to do when I came back to record with you guys, and that was to just fuck your shit up. If I could just
get banned from the show
and the listeners.
Listeners, yeah. I really.
You're muted, Chris.
I might have to go on to TikTok and remove all of my likes from.
No, don't do it. That's the only likes I have. Please don't do that. I don't have a lot of. I get a lot more views on TikTok than I do on the Instas. So
that's actually whenever you watch like drawing it. I watched yours, all of them, and
I appreciate it.
It becomes mesmerizing, and it's actually. I was high one night. Shocker. And flipping through the old TikTokers, and I came up on the one that you were drawing. I don't know what it was, but it's one you had the stones that are kind of going uphill, and then all of a sudden the stones go over his head. He's trying to climb up.
Yeah,
he's just struggling in his climb. I watched that like 7 times in a row.
Wow!
You sit there, you look at TikTok, and it plays through. It'll play through it again. It'll play through it again. It'll play through it again. I sat there. I was like, I know what's happening next. It was actually a lot of fun to watch. So
thanks.
I enjoy your drawings.
I appreciate it.
I know we talked about this before. Have you thought about doing one live?
I have thought about it
because you will get. Because I watch some of the stuff on there, and I go, like Chris, and you're like going, all right, why are 5,000 people watching this?
Right.
And I go, well, wait, why am I watching it?
Yeah.
Why am I watching it?
The other night, I was watching this guy. I think it's like Talvit is his name. And what he does is he sets up like ceramic tiles on different angles and creates like this obstacle course where he has to like throw a fucking ping pong off like this corner of his wall back into a thing. Oh, bing, 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 bing. And he sits there for fucking 8 hours straight sometimes trying to sink the ping pong ball at the end of the course into a cup that's spinning around on a plate. And I'm sitting there. I sat there and watched him for a fucking hour throwing ping pong balls to no avail. But I did watch one of his streams. And I was like, fuck yes. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you, man. Like,
I caught myself one time like 20 minutes in. I go, okay, this dude's never going to fucking make it. I go, why am I watching this?
TikTok is like the crack cocaine of social media.
It is.
You can do Instagram. It's like weed. You can do Facebook. It's like alcohol. If you take too much of it, it'll kill you somehow. But TikTok though, somehow, I mean, I try not to dip into this stuff. I try to post and get out because let me tell you, the most annoying thing is that everybody's doing this like Teenage Wasteland like thing.
Oh yeah, it's getting annoying as fuck.
Fuck that shit. God damn that song. It gets in my head. And
Teenage Dirtbag.
Teenage Dirtbag. Yeah. And damn it, if I think it was like Alyssa Hageman like had posted one, and I was like, okay, now I'm fucking watching this goddamn shit. Damn it. So, but every now and then, like but can I just say that half the people on TikTok, they're like only 5 years away from their teenage wasteland years or garbage years or whatever. So what the fuck? Like, no, you don't have you can't post about your teenage.
This is probably before your time, but there used to be this Evel Knievel motorcycle thing where he was Evil Knievel on a motorcycle, little tiny motorcycle, and you would jump him, and it never. There's a guy on TikTok that does all these things where he jumps.
Yes.
This thing. I go, how the? I had one of those. Thing would go like 2 feet and crash, and it would be like Caesar's Palace all over again with Evil Knievel. And I go, but this guy is able to do it. It's probably the most interesting videos. And that, and the guy the people that set up the cars on the treadmill, and who's going to win. And I sit there and go, I'm hoping that money on red. I think 3's going to win. I think 3's going to win. You watch it, you go, oh, come on.
Here's the thing I love about TikTok, and I think it's absolutely brilliant and could potentially come back and bite us in the ass, like in the worst of ways, is the fact that when you're watching TikTok, like it's funny because we talk about this, like we will send each other something, and I'll be like, yeah, I fucking saw that already, like because you start seeing all the shit that you like. And it gives you a very myopic view when it comes to social media. But the thing I like about TikTok is that if you're not using it for the political theater of most other social media sites, you're just getting fucking pure injections of the things that you enjoy from an entertainment perspective. And that's what's so fucking great about TikTok, and what is like the other side of things when you think about Facebook, and which is unfortunately was the place where most people get their fucking news, that creates this completely myopic view on everything outside of entertainment. But and I can see how even TikTok could and probably will very easily make that same adjustment back over to kind of the myopic view from a political standpoint. But I choose to not let it. You know what I mean? Like the content that I watch or like or share is all the content I want from like an entertainment perspective. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of political stuff on TikTok, but I try not to watch it because not doing so just creates this really great experience every time I open the app. I'll either laugh within minutes or be completely mind blown by someone drawing fucking rocks. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's awesome. I love it.
I sent you guys a video of the comedian with he had the pet turtle growing up.
No.
The comedy you can get exposed to the TikTok. It's fucking amazing.
There's one guy. He's deadpan. He goes in a certain direction. You're like, okay, where's he? Like he said, he goes, yeah. When I was young, I had a pet turtle. It lived in the aquarium or whatever it's called. And he goes, went away to camp. Came back. My dad said, turtle went away. Like your mom just went away. He goes, so he's like going. He goes, oh, okay. So I went out in the backyard. I'm digging up, and I found my mom. He goes on these. You're sitting there going, okay, where's he going to go with this? You go, oh my God. It's some of it's, it's like.
I will watch 2 minutes of a person watching someone else watching someone do a bad DIY. Like, that's what I found myself doing last night. I was like, I'm watching this guy watching someone else do a shitty DIY. I'm like, why the fuck are you putting a dustpan as a shower thing on? Like, it made no sense whatsoever.
Well, I think a lot of times, don't you think a lot of times they do that on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Because no one's
I do think that. And by the way, sometimes the acting chops of the people trying to fake shit on TikTok, I'm more pissed at them. I'm like, fuck you and your lame ass acting. Go back to school.
Exactly.
Like
Sylvester
Stallone. Only murders in the building.
Like what?
Like only murders in the building.
Oh, was that another spoiler?
The party.
The actors in the party. Yeah. Spoilers.
Hey, there's nothing spoiler about that.
Okay.
Ryan Phillips? Who's the actor? Ryan Phillips? No.
Ryan
Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds. He has that one where he'll watch a video and it's just like somebody doing something crazy, and he goes, it's just his facial expression. I don't know, it's hilarious.
Don't you think TikTok is kind of inappropriately named? TikTok should have been like an elderly people's dating website.
Time's running. I gotta get it. Like Steve Martin.
There's this one guy.
I like Nick's frozen face here. This is perfect. You're like,
I was trying to find it before I brought this up, but there's this one chef that I watch, right? And his whole entire thing is about he watches he stitches other TikToks of people cooking shit. And he just
Raccacoonie?
sits there and just like, what?
I said Raccacoonie?
Raccacoonie?
Yeah.
From earlier.
Oh,
sorry.
And he just shits on other people as to why they're fucking making the things they're making. It's actually really funny. I'll find and send a couple to you guys.
Nick, you and I get the Raccacoonie.
I
That's
know.
funny.
I can't believe Chris does not get that. He's the one that watched the movie first.
What are we talking about?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Raccacoonie.
Oh.
There you go.
Dude, that movie's so good.
So good. I actually, think what's funny is that I think this year at Comic-Con, because there's always somebody every year, whatever like the current thing is, they'll dress up as that. And I kept walking around going, and for some reason it popped in my mind.
Someone dressed up as Nick.
No, someone dressed up as Raccacoonie. And I saw it. I was like, yes, somebody did it. Just walking around the chef with the raccoon on their head. And I'm like, yes, you did.
Hot dog fingers would have been great too. So,
but you see the guy with the it was at the Mets game. Was it Mets game? A Yankee fan drills a hole. He takes
hot
a
dog,
straw.
yeah.
He takes a straw, pokes a hole in the straw in the hot dog, makes a hole all the way through.
It's a cliff.
Grabs his beer, puts the hot dog in the beer, and drinks the beer through the hot dog.
Yeah.
Now I'm figuring, I go, first, no, in the right fucking mind uses a straw to drink a beer?
yeah.
I said,
It made me curious as hell. Really.
Then I looked online. I guess it's a thing.
Yeah.
To
think about
drink out of a hot dog.
If you got an all beef Frank, which are a big hot dog,
yeah, sure,
and then I know where Chris thinks I'm going with this, but yeah, that's what he did.
Chris is getting excited.
Yeah, but think about it. You're getting beer through. It would probably taste pretty good.
But it's like beer through. I mean, if you go on YouTube, it's like beer through anything. I mean, straw hot dogs, but it's environmentally safe.
Do that again.
Right?
Do that again. I'm not on Facebook, Sherry, but please.
Oh, it's fucking funny.
But no, because straws are bad, right?
Right.
But a hot dog,
he still needed a straw to get the hole. Yeah.
I don't know. You can use a pencil, right?
Yeah. You can use one of those recyclable metal ones.
If you were cooking the hot dog on a rotisserie, then you'd already have the hole there. But.
I just thought my first thought was like, because hot dogs have that grease on them.
Yeah.
With the grease.
Or what if you were sucking up the beer and you got one of those like meat chunks and you're like, whoa, what was that?
The gristle or like a little bit of bone.
All right, we're stopping this film right now. I got a meat chunk. I sucked up a meat chunk.
It's like that scene in Naked Gun where the guy's eating it and then he pulls a finger out of hot dog.
But I just watched that. I said, that is so gross. But I'm like you, Nick. I almost said, no, I can't do that.
It made. I mean, I think, when I saw it, the people were trying to make it look disgusting, but then I think everyone who was watching was like, huh.
Maybe he's onto something, right?
He could be onto something. You don't know.
I wouldn't do it in public.
There was something I was going to say, and
I'm glad that you did. Yeah.
And I completely forgot.
Is it another movie ending?
Hold on, let me look at the list of stuff I haven't seen yet. Perhaps.
Please do. Go ahead. Rattle it off. Do you want me to tell you how Peaky Blinders ends?
Don't do that.
No, I don't.
I was watching. Have you guys seen?
It just goes black, and that's it.
Yeah, and then Journey's playing. But have you guys have seen Pride of the Yankees, right?
A long time ago.
It's the Lou Gehrig movie.
Well, we know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, Chris probably has it as a Yankee movie, and he would not watch a Yankee movie.
Correct.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Although I did see, was it
62?
62. I did see.
Yeah.
I thought Pride of the Yankees was like a
61.
61.
Yeah.
I just steered clear of it.
62.
So.
But I said, you know what? I'm going to watch Pride of the Yankees. It was on Amazon Prime. And then before they start out, it tells you it's PG-13. I go, how the fuck is Pride of the Yankees PG-13?
They were. It was not even. That's bullshit because there was not even PG-13 back when that movie was.
But no, but they've rated them. Amazon Prime has rated the movie for because they'll put up in the corner. They'll say, like they'll say nudity, certain things. But this said like there's drinking scenes and sexual, maybe talking about sex. And I'm like, what? When Luke keeps going into his mom, you're my girl, you're my best girl. It's just like, it's like a wholesome movie. How the hell could it be PG-13?
We were having at lunch today at work. We were having a conversation about movies and how when you watch them later on, you wonder how the hell this movie was ever made. And like the one that I brought up was Blank Check, which is a movie that when Matt and I were younger and Chris was younger watched. And it's about this kid who, finds $1 million check.
He just fucked you over, man.
You say fuck you, Jack.
Well, Jack, Jack, you were like you were like 35 when this movie came out. So just saying.
I was a mere pup.
Yeah. Anyway, but the movie. The premise of the movie is a kid finds a blank check. He writes it for $1 million for himself, and then he spends a lot of shit and all that. But
Coke
at the end of the movie, there's a 33-year-old woman who gives this 10-year-old kid like a full-on kiss, and you're like, as a 10-year-old watching it, you're like, that's pretty cool. But then now as an adult, you're like, that's kind of fucked up. Like this 30-something-year-old woman is like making out with a 10-year-old.
What was she his teacher?
I can't remember.
Did she babysit him when like her dad was in a space program? I mean, because things can happen.
Yeah. But we were talking about all those. We were talking about all those movies. Like Revenge of the Nerds. It's like it's cool back then, but now it's sexual assault. Like there's so many.
There's a scene in Pride of the Yankees, and it's the one where the kid's. He's sick in the hospital, and Babe Ruth promises him a home run, and then Lou Gehrig promises him. He goes, "Can you hit 2 home runs for me, Mr. Gehrig?" so it's
you bastard.
Walter Brennan is the guy that's helping Lou Gehrig. He's his press guy. So they keep giving the announcement to the announcer that's doing the game, and I said, I can't believe they haven't edited this out because the kid's listening to the game on the radio. It's because he goes, Lou Gehrig's still trying to hit the home run for that poor crippled kid in the hospital. I'm like going, I go, that didn't hold up. That's just not right. I go, why aren't we editing this part out? I mean, it's just like maybe that's why it's PG-13. I go, it's bad enough that they said it, but the kid is literally just listening to the game. Did they say
that's me? I'm the crippled kid.
I'm the poor crippled kid. It's just like I go, wow, that's just it was the 40s, right? So
sure.
I guess anything goes, but and some of the
that's another movie.
Some of the other characters they had,
Hitler.
Well, no, they show an African American guy. He's shining shoes, and listening to the game. It's a lot. You're going, okay, this part doesn't hold up because it's not.
At the time, they were like, "We're being progressive. Let's show the shoe shine boy. Let's
get him in there, and but
give him a nickel."
But it's a fun movie, But it's like, but that part I was like going, wow, I didn't realize they said that.
Yeah. You think about even a more recent example is pretty much any comedy that came out in the mid to late 90s or early 2000s doesn't fucking hold
if it's got Adam Sandler's name on it. It's like
old school could not be made today.
Same as American Pie.
American Pie could not be made. Like these movies are
Animal House.
Some of the most quoted movies too. You can't make the movies today. Like it just wouldn't pass.
Well, we've talked about this before. There's episodes of MASH. They go. There's one where a lady, but until the end, Jack, where this nurse is accusing Frank of raping her, and they're all joking about rape.
Right.
And it's like I've never been to a rape before, and you're like going. That didn't hold up.
Yeah.
Well, and then they said then there was another one where Margaret's worried about being violated, and they said rape, and they go, rape a doctor.
That's what brought the conversation up at my work was that this woman was talking about episode of Little House on the Prairie where she's like, that was a family wholesome show.
Yeah.
And in this episode, it's like this girl's getting raped, and all the young boys are like looking like, oh my god, like and it's like, and then the excuse is like, boys will be boys, but and then it comes back around to have justice, but it's like, but the whole premise of it is just like, not okay.
It's not okay, but it's you wonder why they don't take some of those parts out.
Well, I mean, like I'd seen again TikTok, the only place that I get my information now. It was a side by side comparison of Lilo and Stitch, and how like on Disney Plus, like there's a scene where it's Lilo like hides in a dry. Well, the original is she hides in a dryer, but like the other one, they made it just more of a cabinet, like a bookshelf or something like that, where she's not climbing inside a dryer, so that to encourage kids. But albeit though, there's a lot of parents out there that just plug their 3 or 4-year-old into a device and say, "Here's a Disney movie; it's all good for you," you know. And then that kid's like, "I'm at home. I want to be Lilo. I'm gonna climb in a dryer," you know.
I used to climb in the dryer when I was a kid. Yeah.
Why? It's a nice, safe, warm place.
You thought it was a spaceship or a submarine or like anything. Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Spins around.
Explains a lot.
Shut up, jerk.
Boom, boom. That was your head hitting.
I never turned it on.
No, but your sister did.
Yeah, I never climbed in the dryer. No, because
yeah.
Well, were they invented back then?
They were.
We had a laundry.
I was hung on a clothes rack.
Yeah, I mean, you were something.
We had a laundry chute.
Do Jesus.
And as a kid, I always wanted to go down the laundry chute because it was like first floor down to the basement. So one day, like I'm like I'm gonna do it, and I get to the point where I'm like hanging by it, and it's like that metal that you use for duct work. So it's just kind of like sharp on your fingers, and I'm like, and then I just fall down into the basket, below.
At least there was a basket there.
Come to the coast, have a couple drinks, blah, blah, blah.
Well, some guy died a couple weeks ago. He was in an apartment, and he went down an incinerator. That apartment.
Jesus.
There were two
that
people
was
that
an accident. Because
are you watching Willy Wonka again?
That's Murders in the Building season 3.
It was Steve Martin, but no, he. They don't know what he was trying to get, and one of the neighbors goes, "I heard something." But there were 2 other people there, but I guess once he went down there, they let's get the hell out of here. But he was like, they don't know if he had dropped something, was trying to get it, and he just went down the chute, and they don't know.
Probably his phone. He was watching TikTok.
Could have been, and he went like this, and the damn thing went down the incinerator. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's the ticket. It wasn't because somebody pushed him down there. Damn it! I wish I remembered the TV.
It was Steve Martin because he was the murderer in the building, and after he got killed.
There you go.
And then immediately after that, we went and told the dog that he burned up in the incinerator, and then he went and sat in the chair, and then he died that night.
My gosh!
Wasn't that funny?
Oh, it was great.
That was really funny. You motherfuckers didn't think anything about my dad.
It's funny as I'm watching that video, and I go, "Wow, he just said his dad died 2 years ago. No one said anything. It was nothing."
Our audience has no fucking clue what we're talking about.
I didn't know. Maybe I'll post it on Facebook.
That would be good.
He had no fun. But then when he says about the dog,
fuck you guys.
Which is true.
The dog, which I made up.
I will say that there is a certain insensitivity that people have about death or not wanting to deal with cancer. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna be quiet and kind of go about my business. It's like you don't want to. So
it is. It's hard to when
or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and not knowing. So.
I've done that a number of times.
There's a movie out there where someone does that.
Is based on.
I think it's because I'm all 4 of us are smart asses, but there's a movie out there where someone says something like that, where the natural response was like, "Oh, my dad died." You're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then when someone says that to this person, they go, "Why did you kill him?" And it's like that'd be me.
That would be you because all those headshots you did in the. Dryer.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about my experience at Dairy Queen today.
DQ. Let's go.
So we got 2 of the grandkids, and
as long as it doesn't have to do with a BM.
I thought it was a DP, but
oh Jesus.
Anyway, we got 2 of the grandkids. So we go in Dairy Queen, and we got them just ice cream cups with sprinkles on it like this. And my wife and I just give me a hot fudge sundae. She got a hot fudge sundae, but she wanted whipped cream on hers. So this guy behind us, couple behind us, Later on, we found out he had a gun
Oh,
in his waistband. I didn't see it at first. He goes, "Guy's got a gun. Guy's got a gun. Guy's got a gun." Because they got there. Because we waited like 25 minutes. I'm like going, "What the hell is going on with this fucking ice cream?" And I go, they were way behind us. They were still ordering like 10 minutes after we had ordered.
mm-hmm.
I go, "Oh, because he had a gun, so they gave him his food first." But they come out, they come out, and they go, "What are you?" I go, "Yeah, I'm just waiting for those 2 ice cream cups and the 2 hot fudge sundaes." She goes, "Oh," and I go, "The fuck? Oh, what the fuck?" And so she goes back, and so another guy comes out, and he's got so you wanted ice cream. 2 ice cream, yeah, the 2 sprinkle ones. Can I just have those so I can take them to the kids? He goes, but then you wanted 2 hot fudge sundaes, but one without the hot fudge.
What?
I go, no. I go, no. One has whipped cream, but they both have hot fudge. And he goes, so you're sure both? I go, why would I order a hot fudge sundae and not get the fudge?
Right.
And he just looks at me like, and he's trying to. He kept. I'm trying to be nice because I know that, I worked with the public for a number of years. Chris, you've done it, and Matt, you've done it, and Nick, I don't think you've ever done anything.
No,
so, but I
head injury.
And finally, I just at the third time, I just stared at him. I go, can you just bring me the 2 hot fudge sundaes, one with whipped cream?
Right.
That's all. I'm waiting here for like 25 minutes for the simplest order. And he's just like going, oh, okay. It's like going, why the fuck did you waste? Seriously, would anyone order a hot fudge sundae without the fudge? I said, wouldn't that just be like wouldn't that just be a cup of ice cream?
Right.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I go,
huh.
Fucking
never thought about it like that.
I wanted to go and get the guy's gun. Can you just shoot this guy? But no, that would.
I think John the Rcad brings up a good point, but he missed the point. It should be. It's like people go to a hamburger place and say, "I want bun patty bun."
Nice. That's a good reference.
Notice that John the retired guy is the only one commenting now because
Well,
everybody fell asleep.
To be fair, John the retired guy, it wasn't a cheeseburger. I just wanted a hamburger.
No, he's making he's backing you up. He's agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
And saying asking for a hot fudge sundae without the hot fudge is like asking for.
Yeah, exactly, John. Please. Exactly. We're on the same page, John. Thank you.
Yeah, but let's be he pretty much told you to fuck off at first, and then until
it was a really strong fuck off.
It was a strong fuck off.
Yeah, solid.
But anyway, it's just you got 2 kids that are not quite 3 yet and 4. And they're being as patient as they can be. And the girl behind the thing, I was like going, I said,
oh, there's a girl involved now too?
Well, she was the one that first was helping us. And I was like going, geez, man, gosh. Drugs are bad. Anyway, so that was my Dairy Queen story. I'm like going, I don't know if I'd ever go back there. But I don't know why the guy had the gun.
Well, you never know when the shit goes down.
He was kind of a jerk when he came. He was to, I don't know if his wife or girlfriend. He kind of said something. I kind of looked back at him, and he's like looking at me. I didn't know he had a gun then. I would have said, well, fuck it.
He was preparing to blow his nutsack off. That's what it was. So.
But it's like maybe he had a concealed weapon permit. But it wasn't concealed.
I don't think North Carolina has to have. I think most states in the South now are open carry without a permit.
Well, he was open carrying it.
Yeah,
and I was like going. I said, holy shit. Because somebody goes, go back and look at it. I go, I'm not going to go back and look. I go, what if he pulls out the gun and says, what are you looking at? And shoots me. Anyway.
That would be murder.
Yeah, but I'd be dead. At least I got the ice cream.
Yeah,
that was okay. But anyway, that's my Dairy Queen story.
Anybody got anything better?
I feel like we need something better.
I got the ending to Murders in the Building.
You'll enjoy it still.
No, I won't, because I've been thinking Steve Martin's going to die here.
Yeah, well, but it's worth
you don't even try to deny what I said.
So I finished this show called
The Ramblecast.
Ramblecast.
Anything.
It was so good. It had this big surprise Dairy Queen thing at the end. I was like, I was not seeing that coming. Anyway, yeah.
Why
so
didn't you get the fucking Blizzard, man? Like that's the more important.
I just
like you go to DQ, you got to get the Oreo Blizzard. It's like a fucking gift.
Usually, be honest with you, usually I get the banana split.
Now,
I'm a banana split person.
Is your Dairy Queen like just a strictly ice cream and cakes, or do you have a Dairy
No,
Queen
it
grill
has
and chill?
It has food. Yeah,
it's a grill and chill. Yeah,
is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's literally on the sign.
I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to it. I did read the history because they have a sign there. I was standing there so long ago. Oh, I didn't know it started in 1948, and they're all there. Boom. I said, "Wow, that's pretty interesting." Anything else I can read while I'm sitting here waiting for 4 ice cream things?
See, Dairy Queen wasn't like really popular where I grew up because we had regional restaurant chain called Friendly's Ice Cream. I don't know if
I've never eaten there, but I see Friendly's every time I'm driving up north.
So
pretty ironic that it's in
Friendly's.
Yeah,
it is ironic.
In the north,
from Wilbraham, Massachusetts.
Should be called asshole.
But like growing up,
what the fuck do you want? I'm being friendly.
That's actually really fun. How that hasn't been a TikTok.
Hey, this guy wants fudge on his ice cream.
This motherfucker.
I'll give him some fudge. Whoa! I have diarrhea. Here's some fudge for you.
Friendly's ice cream when I grew up was like a big deal. Being local to the area. So like in my hometown, we had 3 of them.
Fucking sprinkles.
You're never getting out of it.
You want some topping?
It's actually really fucking funny. But we had 3 in my hometown. Like they had one at the highway exit, and then there's 2 in north side and south side. But that was you got your ice cream at fucking Friendly's. You didn't go to DQ.
Got it fucking Friendly's.
Oh, Friendly's was the shit though, because I remember going there as a kid because it was like sit down and eat ice cream.
Yeah,
it was for real. Like I felt like when I was getting a banana split there, it wasn't like some Dairy Queen second rate bullshit.
It was a real chunk. Yeah, it was real.
I want the banana split without the banana.
And they had the hold your laughter. They had the hold your laughter. Happy ending Sunday.
Oh, fuck you! You want a happy ending?
For $1.99 with your kids' meal, you can add.
The worst part was Robert Kraft was always in line for ice cream.
This kid doesn't even know what I gave him in his happy ending.
And then you should get the Fribble. Fribble was the ice cream milkshake. They're fantastic.
The what?
Yeah, I don't remember that. Fribble. Yeah,
we used to have a ice cream chain called Farrell's. And it was they had this one thing called the zoo, and they'd bring it out of they'd run around the thing like a old Farrell's.
Yeah, Farrell's like a feral like animal. Like
sure, I guess so. Anyway,
well,
so
that's where it comes from.
I don't give a fuck. That's not really important to the story.
Grill and chill, Jack. It's grill and chill.
That's great. So anyway, they had this giant thing of ice cream. They'd run around the thing. Oh, they'd play music. But it had these little plastic pieces in the ice cream, like little plastic. It was called a zoo, so they had little animals in there. Well, people started choking on them, so they had to stop. They had to stop putting it in there.
Huh.
Anyway,
there you go. That's why you can't have toys in our ice
exactly.
cream.
What happened? I mean,
they were trying to introduce plastics into the human body earlier than what it is now.
They did that when we were kids too. Like you remember all like the toothpaste with the sparkles in it? That's chunks of plastic. It's like I'm fresh.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah.
Those assholes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
really?
Aqua Fresh.
I did not know that.
You can go aqua fuck yourself now.
Yeah.
So
wow, that was
fun stuff.
Yeah, I got to go to a Friendly's then. Because they got happy endings. They still have the happy ending.
I haven't been to a Friendly's in forever.
Oh, they just call it the Robert Kraft.
Last time I went, like they've definitely changed their atmosphere and their style, and it wasn't anything quite like
because it's 2022. They probably say fuck it. We don't want to be friendly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well. It's about that time, right? We're gonna roadie this.
Do we have any emails?
We do not. I checked.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
that I recall.
Well, Randy's not.
I'll check one more time.
Randy went somewhere. I think Randy's traveling somewhere. Randy's always traveling somewhere.
Oh, wait. I get one. No, it's just one of those Instagram things. Never mind.
Boo. All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up because John's, the UPS guy, is following us, saying we're putting everyone to sleep. That's what our job is.
But if you want to send us an email,
send it to
Chris Doran jumps in from the chat, says, I'm still here. I just finished watching the Phillies move further ahead of the Padres.
Padres can't hit? What do you want me to do?
Hey, they're better than the Red Sox. So.
No, they can't fucking hit. Literally can't fucking hit.
The Red Sox are the worst team in the MLB.
No.
Firmly believe.
Padres went out and added all this talent, and they're actually worse than they were before. It's like you're like going, how could you not? I mean, literally have they'll be like 10 runners on base one day. It's like, at this point, I just can't stress over it. I refuse to get upset by it. It's just like, they make it, they don't, they don't. I can just be a fan. There's nothing I can do. I can't change the course of the game.
That's how I feel about this podcast.
So anyway, 7 what?
Seinfeld, everybody. You were going on a George Costanza rant there. So
okay.
7.
See, he laughed out loud at the Robert Kraft jokes. There you go.
That's a win for Jack. That's all he
There
wants.
you go. All right.
The Red Sox are fucking 60 and 60.
Don't encourage Jack. Will, don't.
Please don't. So
Now we'll have to hear Robert Kraft jokes for the next 3 weeks or more.
Jesus, yeah. Everything's going to be a Robert Kraft joke.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Anyway,
she
That
did.
was the idea.
I forgot where we were talking about the emails. The email address is rcramblecast@gmail.com.
It's just rcadcast
Okay.
at gmail.com.
How do you spell that?
RCAD cast. At
Follow us on
gmail.com.
Instagram at RCADcast and leave us an iTunes review for a free
you know what?
drawing from Matt.
I haven't done anything on it. Are you still pushing things on Instagram, Matt?
Me?
Yeah.
Am I still pushing things on Instagram?
It's a wonderful time to talk about our marketing strategy as we're trying to market the show.
I'm not on. I'm only doing my own personal stuff.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
It's like I was in a band and I left.
It's like
I
hate to be that team player, Matt. Anyway.
All right. Well, then leave us an iTunes review for a free hot fudge sundae from Jack.
No,
From
two squirts and a
Friendly's.
couple nuts.
Anyway,
It's a nutty
But-
buddy.
if you'd like to help us out, you can become a patron. Go to jjack.com, click on the patron thing, and it helps us out, helps everyone here, and I guess. And then
I'm doing this show for free. I quit. I just come back for fun now. So I'm off the payroll.
You
so
still got paid, didn't you? You still got paid.
nope, not anymore. I'm free, man. I'm a free agent. You know, they don't even. Colleen doesn't even know I'm doing the show. Okay,
No, she
I'm
knows.
just.
she knows.
She knows.
I said something.
Oh, okay.
I said, you can believe that asshole came back
I
and
think she made a
pushed his
comment,
way back
actually.
in the show.
Oh.
Oh, wait. I said that out loud? My bad. It's like I spoiled someone. But we thank all our patrons, but we're going to thank Tack from Paris, Eckhart Richter Glotfelder, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed, the creepy letter carrier. Thanks for what you do, and thanks for everyone who was in the chat. We really appreciate it. We enjoy it. It keeps us going. And also subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's get up to 103. Get up to 103 subscribers.
The
I like how
YouTube
Jack has reeled in his expectations of what he wants to strive for. Like
And
like last week was like 1,000.
It was 1,000, yeah.
Now he's like, I just want one more.
She knows. She wrote on the last one. Enjoy this week's RCAD. Is Matt even retired at this point?
Damn.
Wow.
She
Shots.
knows.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I'm necessarily retired. I'm just kind of like a free molecule that just does things. I'm having, as Chris mentioned in a
You're an
podcast,
electron?
I'm having what? I'm having commitment issues. You know, I'm having, issues to just commit to.
You want to talk about it?
No, not really.
Yeah.
So
You're amongst friends here, Matt.
Oh, thanks. So, well, I will either see you guys next week or never again. But I love talking with you guys and spoiling shit that you've never seen. So, if
Thanks,
I
man.
can, I'm probably going to get into Pinky Blinders and just watch the whole show before Christmas.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No. I
Really?
haven't.
That's
Oh.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. It's worth
Wow.
watching.
You would enjoy it.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
it might make.
Before,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
it
Nick.
might
Go
make
ahead.
its way into my watching. I started trying to watch a couple of different shows, and so I'm kind of in that like limbo of like, what do I want to watch next? So
Yeah, Cindy and I never got back to watching League of Their Own. She goes,
Oh.
"You want to watch it?" I go, "Well, if you want to watch it, it's okay with me." It's one of those things like, nah. And then we went.
again,
funny
I
how
recommend The
can
Bear.
do that, yeah.
You'll binge it in a night, Jack.
Yeah, the Bear's good.
The Bear is good.
That's on Hulu.
That's right. You don't have.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you're not.
We're gonna get Hulu pretty soon here, so I can watch just the last episode of Murders from the Buildings.
Yeah, it's funny about the Bear is that like I had it saved for the longest time, but I had never seen anything that made me want to watch it. And then when I finally had the time, I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And then as soon as I started watching, I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah. Surprisingly good. So anyway,
All right, guys. Hasta luego. Great show, kids. 1 in a million.
Good
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
Was it?
Not really. Do we have to get another commercial break? Are we good?
I don't know.
Nope.
Okay. Bye.
Later.
See ya. Matt says bye.